found it on Reddit. It was pretty interesting. It's titled "A 15-year-old girl was returning home from a birthday party late at night. According to her friends, she fell from a bridge, but neither could tell a consistent story. And in the years since, many independent witnesses could report seeing her in foreign countries." So saw this post a couple days ago, and man, I couldn't imagine my child not coming home. I have little ones right now, so I couldn't imagine any of this right now. So this is going to be an interesting read. And it seems they've really put some thought into into it. So I'm gonna start reading. I'll probably cut through some of it, talk a little bit, and then restart it back up. But yeah, that's how I want this thing to go. So, um, so the person's name was Barbara Vitez. Was born on August 13th, 2001, and sent to Serbia to Hungarian parents. It wasn't surprising that Zenta's proximity to the Hungarian border, she was described as a good kid, not problematic at all. And it says she did not fall into the wrong crowd. Um, Basically, she didn't do any drugs, wasn't on alcohol, wasn't on any of that. She had an older brother, a group of friends, and by the age of 15, she was at the School of Economics and Trade. That is actually pretty impressive. And enrolled in September of 2016. She never missed a single lesson or a class. She was very studious. Okay, sounds like a good kid so far. On November 25th, 2016, two 17-year-old boys went into the police station to report an accident. They, together with a now 15-year-old Barbara, were returning home from the pizzeria, which recently hosted the birthday party of a mutual friend. Their route took them over a railroad bridge spanning over the Tiza River and connecting the towns of Senta and Coca. Now, I don't know where these are, but I'm pretty sure people in that area do. It says Barbara tried passing in front of one of them and had to climb over the bridge railing to do so when she slipped and fell 10 meters into the water. Oh my God. While they were filing this report to the police, her parents were already worried since Barbara was late arriving home, and when they tried to call her, she wouldn't pick up. Before they could go and report her missing themselves, the police came and told them that something likely happened to Barbara. They told the story that the boys told. Ooh, yeah, that right there would be a nightmare for me as a parent. I couldn't imagine my kid going missing. I couldn't imagine not coming home at night. That's sort of sad already. Already, they thought that was odd. Barbara had a crippling fear of heights, so much so that she wouldn't even go in the attic and instead have others retrieve what she needed for her. The thought of her climbing a ladder scared her so much that climbing up a railing of a bridge over a cold river in the middle of the night seemed very out of character. Okay, I can see where. This is interesting. Whether she fell by accident or was pushed, one thing remained the same. She likely fell into the river. Rescue teams spent the first 3 days searching the river, but any chances for her survival after the fall into the river with a temperature of 4 degrees Celsius was slim. What's 4 degrees Celsius? Probably like 40 degrees, probably. Somewhere close. In Fahrenheit. It says on November 29th, the local police received assistance, from the Gendarmerie. I think that's how you pronounce that. Gendarmerie's, maybe that's it. Gendarmerie's diving unit. They searched the riverbed in case her body had somehow sunk, but no trace of her was found there either. Nothing was found on shore either. The police also employed sonar to scout the river, but the sonar failed to pick up on anything. By November 30th, the police knew her body had drifted far from the bridge, and so all fishermen in the nearby towns and villages were told to be on high alert, especially because her body would have likely bloated and floated to the surface by now. Dang. On December 1st, after her body failed to surface, the search was expanded to the Novobeche clan or dam, and they combed an additional 50 kilometers of the waterway and riverbank to Senta and Novi Bečej or Bečej. An additional number of anglers and fishermen were also employed to help them search even more of the waterway. Wow, wait. Okay. Okay, I see where the issues are coming in now, because how is nobody finding this girl? And the boy says she jumped off the bridge, fell. But then 30, okay, so 10 meters is 30 feet, right? Or somewhere around there. Let's say 30 something feet. I'm trying to think of a basketball goal is 10 feet. 3 of those is probably how far she fell. And nobody went to go, the boys didn't go save her. And she already had a fear of heights. I see where the issues are starting to come in. Okay. By December 12th, the police finally acted on her parents' suspicions. As mentioned, the boys told different stories about how exactly she fell. Some said she slipped from a railing, and others said she climbed up a ladder on the bridge to show off. Based on the bridge's design, she likely would have landed on the bridge's concrete supports. Whether there were 2, 3, or 4 boys was itself in dispute. The 2 were subjected to a polygraph test with a Serbian interpreter. Yeah, you can already tell things aren't right. That meant that the test was conducted in a language the investigators didn't speak, since they'd give their answers in Hungarian and have it translated to the police in Serbian. They passed the test. After her disappearance, they deleted her from their friends list on social media. On December 13th, while anxiously waiting for news on their daughter, her parents still had to check their mail. When they opened the mailbox, they saw that somebody had left a letter without an envelope or signature. That letter was from a so-called well-wisher who described what happened. They alleged that a third boy was present and that Barbara's Coca-Cola had been laced to immobilize her. Once done, they took her to a bridge where they proceeded to brutally R-word her. Oh, wow. Then this mystery third boy strangled her to death before she was thrown over the bridge's railing. The letter was handed over to the police, but nothing was left behind to identify its author. And besides, the police wrote it off as a hoax and seemingly did little to follow up regarding it. See, that's where I would have got mad, because I don't understand why we're not doing it. First, we need to bring them 2 boys back and figure out who this third boy is, because I feel like you're not questioning them for real. And I don't know where the interpreter or the language where all this got misconstrued at, but we need to figure this out. This about having children now would make me upset, because I couldn't imagine my child being lost and then we're like, hey, we got this. It's like, in a sense, you know how you see those movie scenes, and not to make it light of this situation at all, but you see those movie scenes where parents like lose their kids and whatnot, and then every little tip, it's like it sets the parents off right then and there. But this is real life, and having your kid gone, and there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have any leads, and then when you do get a lead, they say it's a hoax. They're worried about the interpreter now. So you don't know if these boys are playing games. That's where, it pissed me off right there. But let's keep reading. On December 21st, the police once again utilized 3D sonar technology, but came back empty-handed once more. Meanwhile, 2 boys heard the letter and willingly surrendered themselves for a second polygraph test. They came forward in response to the anonymous letter sent to Barbara's parents. The boys passed once more. The police did not let anyone outside of their parents, not even Barbara's family, witness the test. While they passed, they supposedly failed on some individual questions. Which ones were not disclosed. Her father was left skeptical as to whether the test even happened at all. Although exactly how they reached this conclusion is unknown. Her parents even hired experts of their own who ruled the polygraph test was administered improperly. Stop right there. That's what'll make me mad. And and these are different countries, so I'm not sure what the rules are. I don't understand the laws over there, but I do understand as a parent. I'm pretty sure, you say you would take different measures, but I don't know if that's the only kid. I don't care if that's my only kid. If I have multiple kids, I want that kid back. And to know something like this happened, and then they're missing questions, and the polygraph test wasn't done right. Got to keep it PG, but things would have to happen. By January 4th, 2017, after nearly 40 nonstop days, the search was finally called off. It was deemed infeasible to continue as the river completely froze during the winter. Barbara's father attempted to continue the search in other ways. He tried to obtain CCTV footage from the pizzeria and any other cameras in town. If Barbara appeared to be drugged in the footage, it could verify the letter's authenticity. Instead, the police simply dismissed him, didn't humor the suggestion, and bluntly told him that he had no right to a such thing. I wonder if those boys would, if they were the police's kids or something, because they're not even, it's like they're not even trying. It didn't stop with just the footage. Every time he went to the station, he asked for updates. He was told to leave and that he had no right to know of any developments. Barbara's father now had a severe distrust of the police, of course. If it was truly an accident, it would make little sense for the police to be so secretive about the investigation. Most of Center's population agreed. On January 11th, he organized a protest of 100 people strong in the town square. An online petition was set up for those who couldn't attend in person, and it reached 1,000 signatures. Luckily, their efforts paid off. Less than a week later, Europol, no, there's a way to say that, because I hear this in movies. I'm probably butchering this, but Europol began involved. Wait, I think they might have. Europol began involved in the investigation. Okay, they got into the investigation. Let's just put it like that. And the Serbian police issued a yellow notice with Interpol. Oh, Europol and Interpol must be two different things. Okay. Yellow notice with Interpol. I need to look that up, but I'll keep reading the story for now. The director of their local police even met personally with Barbara's parents and pledged to be more forthcoming going forward. They even announced that once the river thawed in the spring, not only would the search resume, but it would be expanded with search and rescue teams to Miskolc, Hungary, joining in. When they saw the report, it said the first report made to the police by one of the boys came 10 minutes after the police arrived at their home to tell them about Barbara's incident. The police showed up to their doorstep at 10:15, but according to police reports, they didn't report the accident to the police until 10:25. The police failed to perform any drug and alcohol tests on the two either. The police finally pulled surveillance footage, but it did not capture much. The police said it showed them leaving a market and walking towards the bridge, but really it only captured them crossing the street and out of the camera's view. As they were out of its range, it could not capture whether they went right or left towards the bridge. Why they were at the market also hasn't been answered. Yeah, the police are playing games. And they're covering for the boys, or this third boy. That, in my opinion, that's what I'm thinking. They're covering for this third boy, but they said the two boys on camera. But you don't know if you can believe them now. That would be my whole thing about the situation. I don't know who to believe. And in those other countries, I don't think you can attack the police. I doubt it, because you'd probably be under the jail over there. You really can't attack the police here, but you would get away with it here in the U.S. But let's keep going. By February 27th, the ice had melted enough for another boat, complete with sonar, to scan and search the river once more for any traces of Barbara. They scanned up to 122 kilometers worth of river, but failed to find anything the previous searches didn't. By April 9th, winter was entirely over, and so another round of extensive searches had begun. Searches were conducted weekly, sometimes constantly, for 3 days out of the week. Almost every boat on the river was equipped with sonar. The search effort extended now as far as Obesc, and as promised, rescue teams from neighboring Hungary were brought in, and they were equipped with sniffer dogs. Yeah, but I need to stop stopping, but by this time, like they could have did anything with the body by this time, because if you're not finding her in the river, more than likely somebody has her by this point, and she's probably under the ground, or they burnt the body. They've done something where it's too long at this point. It's been a whole 4 months now. So yeah, I don't know what you do in this scenario, especially in another country. In July, the first of what would be a reoccurring trend in this case occurred. Barbara's mother called one after another by a group of people who didn't know each other. All of them came from Greece and reported seeing Barbara, recognizing her from the Interpol notice. Greek police were contacted, but nothing more appears to have come from it. Yeah, that would be tough as a parent, because every kid that comes through, and let's just say Barbara had like red hair, any kid that came with red hair, you'd probably be trying to pull them aside. And by this time, Barbara, you know where Barbara's at. Yeah, you try not to think of the worst. Well, honestly, man, she. I don't even know if you hope she died, because you would hope she lived just so you could see her again, but you don't know what she's going through. If she is alive, that would be the issue, in my opinion. But you wouldn't, as a parent, you wouldn't want your kid dead, though. You would rather have them live, but then the psyche, if they were still alive during this time, there's no telling what happened to this girl. So, yeah, this is just a tough situation altogether. On April 10th, 2018, her parents saw a brief snippet from a live stream which featured in it a girl who appeared to be Barbara. Her family identified her both based on the eyes and a scar, but furthermore, when the names of her family and a dog were mentioned in the live chat, she had a visible reaction to them. Unfortunately, nobody knew where this video was being filmed. Around the same time, others saw her getting out of a Jeep with tinted windows. Yeah, and this is honestly part of the worst, because if she was dead, I don't have to worry about her being sex trafficked. And this is what I think. I'm pretty sure this is what's going on. Man, because they say a live stream, but that's the only thing I could think of. These leads were presented by public groups dedicated to independently tracking down missing persons. Barbara's father eventually went to Hungary himself to ask the local police, but none of the officers they spoke to claimed to even know who Barbara was. They even checked their databases for him, but no reports of Barbara ever came by them. When they returned to Serbia and said this to the media, the police said that the claim was an outright lie. Yeah, it's a clearly, by now it's clearly a cover up, and they done sold this girl off somewhere. Later that May, Barbara was alleged sighted in Timisoara, Romania. Let's just say Romania, by locals. Barbara's parents traveled to Romania and were joined by local police. Together, they searched all around Romania, Timisoara, including the rural terrain outside the city. Reports also came from Albania, Montenegro, Croatia, Bulgaria. Although the circumstances were unclear as to why, even the police in Switzerland had been contacted by her disappearance. Yeah, and by this time, if she's becoming like a big story, because I had never heard the story, but if she's becoming a big story, yeah, sometimes people are evil, and people are just calling in, and the parents are genuinely looking for their kid, and they just want to see her. They just want to see her again.